it's always been a challenge. You know, there are still, you know, people who are my neighbours who will say, what is big local? And I tend to say, well, have you been to Carnival? And often they'll say yes. Have you ever been into the shop? And they'll say yes. And we kind of say, well, that is big local. But what we were discussing here is that it's tricky because we're not the type of organisation that people normally expect. So people will say to me, well, what you should do with big local, and I'll say, no, what should we do? Like, I just live here.
Sometimes when something happens and there's this quote and somebody says, somebody should do something about it, you know, like either in government or whatever, something should be done, and it's really about not somebody, it's we should do something about it, isn't it?
The diversity across Whitley Bay is huge. Even within our big local area, it's massive. We have people living in bed and breakfasts, we have people who are homeless or sofa surfing. There's a big diversity, and I suppose the challenge for us, and I think we're doing a really good job of this, is actually seeing everyone as part of the community.
It's those little connections that actually make big differences in people's lives as well, and it's that whole big little local thing.
Yeah. It's about culture, isn't it? And it's about acceptance and using the space for everyone, and allowing people to use that space no matter where they're coming from.
Yeah. Our overall aspiration is just to make Whitley be a more friendly place where people are more likely to just say hello to people, even strangers walking down the street. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing?
All the things that happen in the shop, and we've called it joining in, because I think that that covers the range of different ways that people can contribute, even just from just coming along and being part of a group that's meeting together, to kind of volunteering, offering skills, drinking coffee, bringing in donations, like bringing in quotes to share, and just having that place. Because what we kind of talked about here is that there are a lot of people in Whitley Bay who want to help and want to join in and want to make connections, but unless there's a place for that to happen, it's really difficult. So that's been kind of something that Whitley Bay Big Local has contributed to the community, but the community have contributed right back, and they've brought themselves and they've brought all of their kind of energy into that.
The positive impact of some of the influencing that we've had around environmental stuff. So somebody's put down here, and I think that's quite a nice example about the colour scheme, the bollards.
Diplomacy is one of the things I'd said about it, in that, you know, while it can be frustrating wherever you are and whoever you're negotiating with, I think we've kind of kept in mind that what we really want is Whitley Bay to be better, and we're all kind of roughly going in that direction. And so to not fall out with our partners when they've not done things quick enough, or you know, we've not been able to get what we want.
Strategic partnership working, that nobody can do anything on their own these days, that everybody has to work together, and not beating each other up about that, really, and about giving people like the council who've taken an inordinate length of time to do things sometimes, time to come round with their budgets and their plans to try and make things better for the people of Whitley Bay.
Can I just say as well that I think with the strategic partners that so big logo in and of itself represents community and now has a voice into strategic partners that maybe wasn't there before.
We want to be helpful, we want to be constructive, but actually there will be points of disagreement, and we need to be able to say we have got points of disagreement, and there's things that we, you know, so we're not going to rubber stamp, you know, so that you can say that this was your consultation with the public.
You can disagree well, and you can make officers and the elected members think about things differently.
Remember that how far the whole area has changed. So I think last month there was a 2-page pull-out in one of the national papers around the change in Whitley Bay. I don't know if anybody ever seen it, but it was it did everything apart from mention big local, of course. but did that really matter? Because if we're about changing the culture and the area and making it a better place, and then lo and behold that's taken place, we know we've contributed, but actually the place is better. And that's a good thing, and it's not just better because of us, of course it's not, it's better because of everybody who's contributed, but it is a better place, and I think that's a really positive thing to take home. in year 5 of the big local project.
But I've just been inspired tonight is to just look at, right, you know, I do feel like we've had an impact. I do think that we've made Whitley Bay even better than it already was, but like, let's kind of have a final push and see what else we can do and look at kind of where the gaps are and how can you push it further even more.